Hello and welcome to another video, and today I'm doing a video on why I like the 11th Doctor. Now, why I personally like the 11th Doctor is because he's young, he's youthful, he's energetic, he's bombastic, he's eccentric. He can be the stupidest and most intelligent person in a room, which is a magnificent feat in and amongst itself. He's got a cool sense of fashion. I quite like both his main attire, which is the season, series 5 even, I can't believe I just said season, series 5 costume with the tweed and the bow ties, which are obviously cool, mainly being the red and the blue bow tie. Then he adopts a purple bow tie with, I think, white spots, which then coincides with his purple tweed jacket that is apparently hand-tailored to Matt Smith, or I think it was hand-tailored to Matt Smith, the proper original costume, which is the Series 7 Part 2 costume, or Series 7 Part B, or whatever you want to call that series, costume. I like his companions. I quite like Clara. I like Clara a lot more in Capaldi's era, but I like Clara. She was okay, or her character's pretty decent, or works well with Matt Smith's Doctor. Amy was a cool companion. I like Amy, but I would probably say she's one of the weaker ones from the Modern Who era, if I had to say a bad companion in Modern Who. But aside from that, you know, she's the longest running Modern Who companion, running from Series 5, 6 and Series 7 Part 1. Even though I think she should have just left at Series 6, and then Clara should have had just a full run of Series 7 and Series 8 and then she should have left at Series 8. Anyway, that's a different topic. Yeah, the 11th Doctor is bombastic, energetic, youthful. I like his interaction with David Tennant in the 50th. I like his interaction with Tom Baker in the 50th, and John Hurt, and just seems to be this all-round kind of a likeable person as a Doctor. He sometimes is dark when he's faced with dire situations like the Great Intelligence, the Daleks sometimes, Prisoner Zero, and the sort of Autons and the thing in the Big Bang episode 2-parter. You know, he's generally quite merciful, but sometimes will destroy like a whole place or a whole thing. Like he destroys all of that guy Solomon's ship, I think, in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, and that he is quite investigative. He's quite a detective, but a kind of silly, stupid detective. He's quite into science, clearly. He is the Doctor after all. He still likes science, but he's still kind of, that bombastic idiotness comes through in the 11th Doctor, where I can imagine he tries to do something scientific-y, but then gets bored and then just has to be in the TARDIS main console room and flickering loads of switches and then going off on an adventure, even though he still has a Bunsen burner on in the TARDIS and has some sort of liquid acid thing that's about to blow up or something, you know, but he's so OCD about everything. And he really is just a cool guy. He seems to be a cool Doctor to be around, but seems to be rather sort of energetic, very extremely energetic, to the point where it'd be kind of tiring to be around him. He is, as I say, youthful, and I think that is definitely needed in the sort of that Doctor, because obviously he uses a lot of his body, like running around and flailing around and doing like stunts and whatnot, and jumping from explosions and God knows what else, and flailing his arms and doing all that. He uses the sonic a lot, which, you know, whether or not you like that is irrelevant. You know, he just does do that. I feel like that's a characteristic of the 11th Doctor. I think the Doctor using the sonic a lot. Whether or not, again, as I say, that's a bad thing or a good thing is up to you. You know, he seems to have a good relationship with a lot of people that he meets, because, again, as I say, he's bombastic, youthful, nice, kind, caring, compassionate. Pretty much all those words are the same meaning, so yeah, that. you know, a Town Called Mercy, for example, he cares about the sheriff guy, he cares about Carl Jax, he cares about the gunslinger. I think, yeah, he does, because obviously you don't want to just let, you know, Carl Jax be able to destroy it or whatever from that episode. I can't really remember. He sometimes is dark in the series, sometimes. And when he is dark, I feel like it's more intense. He's got that gravitas to it. It's got that intensity to it because it's not like he's always dark. He's sometimes dark, so it lets me think that he's definitely sort of intense then and dark then, because, you know, it's like a very rare emotion with the 11th Doctor, so you know that something's bad is happening, essentially, because he's feeling like that, you know, where his main emotion is happiness. If then it shifts, as I say, to darkness or more angry or more sort of serious emotion, like anger or darkness, a darker feeling, then yeah, then it shows that he's much more sort of serious and needs to take down the Great Intelligence or the Cybermen or the Daleks or whatever, and that, whereas some other Doctors are much more darker just generally, and then sometimes happy. But yeah, these are the reasons why I like the 11th Doctor, you know, because of his costumes, his companions, his love of, you know, gizmos and gadgets, his sort of bombasticness, his happiness, his sometimes darkness. I'd love to hear what you think, or what you like about the 11th Doctor in the comment section below. So yeah, thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.